Clap for me.
Or just one big one.
Sweet. Alright, we're good.
What is clap?
That'll let me sync. That
All
gives me a visual and audio point to sync that one. That's
All right.
why they do the clapboard. Alright, well, you're recording.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just make sure nothing dies. It's a half battery, but I can just pause it and restart it.
Okay. I know.
Okay, my name is Rick Thompson. I happen to be a Malone graduate, 1975. My daughter, Hannah Thompson, now goes here, and I'm very proud of that. I grew up in a small town in Michigan, Adrian, close to Tecumseh, Michigan. And we were grew up in a very strict Christian home. We went to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, missionary night. Any night church was open, we would be at church. And this, it was good. You know, I didn't mind that. It was gave me some direction, but I was out of sync with the other kids in school because, in 1963 the Beatles were on, and I remember coming to school that Monday after they'd been on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I had no idea. I had no idea what had happened, and everybody was talking about it, and of course, we were in church. So I didn't know that, I didn't know who the Beatles were or anything like that. So it took me a while to get caught up a little bit with that, but I found that the music, I liked the music, but the lyrics really bothered me a lot. And so I was still, on the outside looking in all the time, it seemed like, at school. And that wasn't so bad because I had athletics and other things, and I was a good student. But I remember not even having a radio in my room, and finally my parents let me get a small transistor radio, and I would lay in bed at night and listen to that radio. I'd listen to the baseball games, and every once in a while, I'd come across a station that played rock and roll, and boy, I thought, man, this music is really cool, but man, it was kind of ugly in places too. And along came a song. It was in 1965 or early 1966, and I was in my early teen years at the time, and it was by the Byrds. It was called Turn, 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 and it had lyrics from Ecclesiastes. It was Ecclesiastes 3:1-8. It was the music was originally written by Pete Seeger in the late 1950s, and he was a folk singer at the time, and it had been sung by several groups, I think, but I had never heard it before. And the opening bars were played on a 12-string, I believe it was a Stratocaster, and it blew me away. And then the lyrics, to everything turn, 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 and it was right straight out of the Bible. In fact, Pete Seeger said, I only wrote 6 words in the whole song. The rest of it was directly from the Bible. And here was a song then that I could latch onto and feel a little more, I don't know how to say it, in step with the other students at school, because I had a song that was kind of mine, because it was wholesome, and it was just great music. It was an American band, and it really made a big difference in my life. And I continued to search for other music that had, at least not overtly sexual or drugs or all kinds of other connotations. And there were a few out there, and I continued to increase the library of music that I could feel I could safely listen to without I could be in the world but not of the world at the time. And And it made a big difference in my life because I didn't feel like such a pariah and an outcast because I had something that I could call my own and latch onto.
I don't know. Is there anything?
I don't know.
That was pretty good.
That's not very long.
I don't
How long does it
know.
have to be?
Well, he wanted our, like, this video to be longer, so then we'd have to, like, edit it down, but there wasn't a whole lot wrong with that. so-
That was
It's
pretty-
about 5 minutes.
It was used in the movie Forrest Gump. It was introduced in America, I believe, on October 1, 1965, and just before Christmas it went to #1. This song did, so it had a major impact.
Was it big before you listened to it? Like where you?
I think it was early '66 when I first heard it, so it had gotten to #1. You see, I didn't have any media to listen to, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I had a radio that I went in my room and did my homework to. We didn't do that at my house. You sat down in a quiet place, you did your homework, you got done with your homework, and then you went out to play, or you had supper or whatever.
How did your parents feel about like rock and roll music?
Oh, it was no way. I mean, they grew up with the Elvis Presley, and that was verboten. That was all off limits for sure. And it was. I mean, if you look at it back then, it was considered, devil music by a lot of Christians. I mean, there was just nothing to latch onto. But it was like a hymn to me, I could safely sing it, and it was just so cool. I thought at the time, and that 12-string electric guitar and the bass, it just, I don't know, it hit a nerve in my being that was almost, it was a spiritual thing. It really was at the time.
Do you still listen to it?
Oh yeah, I have it with me. I played it today. I had my headphones on just to get ready for this.
Can you repeat her question after you ask it? So like you asked, what was the question? Your last one?
How did your parents feel about it?
Yeah, so if you could just repeat the question back to her and then say it, because then when they're editing, you don't have to edit your voice into it. He'd be like, oh, how did I hear about it? Yeah, this is
Yeah,
how
that
I heard
makes
about it.
sense.
I mean, how do my parents feel about this? And then go on from there?
Yeah, yeah.
Do the whole thing again?
No.
No.
Just
If she asks me another one.
Ask a question, just
Okay, gotcha.
repeat it back.
Got it.
I'm gonna pause it.
All right.
DSLR's